Hey everybody, good evening, at least evening for us here out in the DC area. My name is Pratibha Agarwal. I am an immigration attorney. I represent clients all throughout the United States. Okay, I represent clients all throughout the United States, and we help them with all types of US immigration questions and services. So if you are have questions about immigration, if you know someone that might have questions about immigration, and they want to ask them here, that it might be helpful to type your question in. I'm going to answer them for you here. Obviously, everything that we talk about cannot be confidential because we have several people streaming on different platforms here with us. They're watching us, putting their questions in, and seeing your questions and your identity. So my point is, nothing is confidential. But you can always call us for a confidential consultation at 703-348-1663. Hi, Karthara. If you're here watching, say hello. I would love to see who's watching and where you're watching from. And I would love to hopefully meet you at a consultation as well. So we do our consultations by phone or by Zoom based on your preference. We are doing them also in person. We have several people coming into the office more and more now. I'm in the office, as you can tell. I'm in the office right now. We will meet in our conference room one day. We will post a video of our office, and you guys can see how beautiful it is and what it looks like and what to expect when you come to see us. But I hope that I get to meet several of you watching here in person. Let me go back. I am an immigration attorney. So if you're just joining, I am an immigration attorney, and I'm here to answer immigration questions. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is, if you know other people that might be wanting to ask a question today or any other day, share this with them so they know to like our page, and so they know to follow us and like us, so then you're notified whenever we go live, and you can pop in and watch and ask your questions live, and I can answer them for you. Okay, obviously this is a free service, a free legal advice in some sense. It's informational and not confidential. Obviously we would need a consultation to be able to provide actual legal advice or create a relationship, an attorney-client relationship. But this is great to get some general information about your situation and what options there are. And we can definitely handle them for you. Hi, Sherpa. Again, if you're just joining, put in where you're from, who you are. I would love to say hello and get a sense of where everybody is coming from. So hi, Sherpa. Harun Krishna says, hi, any update about an I-130? I'm waiting for an interview call in India. So let me talk to you. So the I-130 is a green card process. Okay, so the I-130 is a green card process. So for people that are sponsoring someone in the US or someone abroad, that is a common form that is submitted. So essentially you're showing the status of the person that's being sponsored, and then you're also showing your relationship. You're showing the status of the person that is sponsoring, the petitioner, and then you're also showing the relationship is one that can be sponsored, right? So that is what Form I-130 is, and it's used for all types of family-based green card applications. You file that in the U.S., and Harun Krishna is asking, how long does that take? It normally takes about 8 months or so. Okay, so once that is filed, if you're in India, right? If the person sponsoring you is in the U.S. Or they're a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and you're in India, it's a long wait, buddy. It's going to take at least 2 years. It's going to take 2 years for an interview. Okay, so once you file the I-130, that takes about 6 to 8 months to get approved. That then gets transferred over to the National Visa Center. The National Visa Center collects all these documents, collects a whole bunch of documents. And then they then transfer the case over to the embassy, which schedules your interview. So this is a multi-step process, and hopefully everything will go smoothly, and there won't be additional questions, but there could be delays. If everything goes smoothly, you're still looking at about 1.5 to 2 years, sometimes even more, to have an interview scheduled. Okay, so Harun Krishna, I hope I answered your question. I want to go back to our question of the day. Hi, Karthara. Nice to see you. Let me go back to our question of the day, which is, how do I get a work permit? Which is most people's question. I just want a work permit. I just want a work permit. How can I get a work permit? So you can't apply for work authorization without something else. I hope that makes sense. You can't just apply for work authorization. You can't come in as a tourist and then apply for work authorization. Okay, so you need another basis to apply for work authorization. All right. So one way that we use very often, which is an application type that we handle very often, is the VAWA self-petition. So based on this VAWA self-petition, you can apply for and receive work authorization. So you might be asking, what is this VAWA self-petition? So any green card application, if you file it for someone that's already in the United States, you can also apply for work authorization. Okay, so as I said before, you can apply for work authorization based on something else. And a pending green card application is one of the most common ways to apply for work authorization. At least it's the most common way in our firm, because we do a lot of green card applications. Okay, so what you can do, we apply, for example, the VAWA self-petition is one of my favorite types of cases to handle. So for a VAWA self-petition, it's for someone who's married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. It's in different situations as well. You can use a VAWA self-petition, but I'm going to tell you the one that we handle at our firm pretty often. So it's marriage-based usually, but we can also do parent-child VAWA self-petitions. So, for example, if someone is married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and that person is refusing to sponsor them for a green card, and there's abuse in the marriage. And again, I talk about this really often, but many times victims don't realize they're in an abusive relationship, where they don't think what's happening it can qualify as abuse. If you're in a situation like that, call us, because many times marriage problems will qualify as abuse. Okay, so that's verbal abuse, calling people names, being insulting, putting you down, financial abuse, being very controlling with the finances, jealousy, infidelity. These are types of things that might help you qualify. So call us for consultation if you're in this situation. But once you qualify, most people will also be able to apply for a green card and a work permit. So that work permit will come in about 6 months. So this is for people who are married to U.S. citizens or green card holders. Even if their spouse won't help, they can do it on their own. They can receive work authorization. They can receive travel authorization. So that means that they can leave the U.S. And then in 2 to 2.5 years, they will be able to get a green card. Okay, so this is all something that can happen without the help of your U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse if you're in a relationship that would qualify for a self-petition for this kind of visa. Okay, give us a call if you want to talk more about your case, if you want to see if you might qualify. We are at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. So this is something, again, any green card application, once you file it, could be employment-based. Sorry, guys, I have vacuuming happening outside of the office here. So it could be a green card application that's employment-based. It could be a family-based application that is, very regular family-based, meaning there's no self-petition, it's marriage-based application. Or it could be this thing, a self-petition like I'm talking about now. It could be based on asylum, a UVisa, a T visa. There's so many different ways, right? But once you apply for that green card, that adjustment of status application, most of the time you can also apply for work authorization, okay? And it's free. You don't even have to pay extra for it. All right, so that's one way to get a work permit, and it will be valid as long as that application is pending. Right, so if that gets denied, then it's no longer valid, of course, but it's based on a pending green card application, and it will be valid as long as that is still, as long as that green card application is still pending and being adjudicated by USCIS. All right. Okay. Pias is saying, hi, Pias, nice to see you. He's saying, do you think I can transfer my case from one lawyer to another? You can always transfer your case from one attorney to another. It's pretty simple. Very easy. Again, our firm, we represent clients all throughout the United States. So we can, if you're in the U.S., we represent people even outside the U.S. So pretty much as long as your issue is U.S. immigration law, we can help you. Okay. If you want to call us for a consultation to see, what the steps would be to see if we're the right fit, I'm happy to chat with you. I would love to chat with you. Give us a call, 703-348-1663. Again, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. We're in DC, but we do our calls, our conferences over Zoom. I'd be happy to chat with you about your case. Okay. All right, great. Let's see. Karthara says, hello, I hope you're all fine. I am fine. I hope you guys are doing great. Thanks for joining me today. Josh is saying, my mom renewed her green card more than 5 months ago. How long does it take to arrive? It actually takes a really long time. All right, it takes a long time. The green card renewal process is very long. It takes like a year. But if your mom needs to leave the country or something, she can call and get an info pass appointment, and she will be able to she'll be able to get maybe a stamp in her passport along with the receipt notice showing that she applied, and she'll be able to come in fairly easily. Okay. Mohan says good information. Oh, Mohan, one of my favorite people. Nice to see you. Aurora says, I just got a date for my interview, but I didn't receive any email or anything. Sorry, what your question is, I got a date for my interview, but I didn't receive any email or anything. I called. You can call. You should get an interview notice. So whenever your green card is ready for interview, you can call. And they can provide that information to you over the phone. You should also get a notice. You should also get a notice in the mail. If you've moved, you should always change your address with the government. So everyone except U.S. citizens, so even green card holders, okay, guys, listen up. Even green card holders have to call or fill out a form online. It's pretty simple and very fast, so you should not delay that. Call or fill out a form online, and put in your new address. You're required to do that within 10 days of the move. Okay. Did you hear me? I said you have to fill in your address within 10 days of the move. Okay. And you can do that very, very easily. All right. Hi, John. Nice to see you. Hi, Ryan. Thank you for the compliment. Great. Well, thanks so much, you guys. I wanted to go over one other thing that comes up. All right. So if you're married to a green card holder, this is a question that comes up. You're married to a green card holder. Do you have to wait until they become a citizen for them to apply for you or to apply for a green card? Do you have to be married? Do you have to be married to a citizen in order to qualify for a green card? So this question comes up often, and there is kind of a complicated answer to this. So I'm gonna simplify it for you. Vijay says, hi Vijay. Vijay is from Malaysia. Great. So excited to see you join us today. If you have U.S. immigration questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to answer that for you. Vijay says, are you from the U.S.? Yes, I'm located right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. I'm an immigration lawyer, and I'm answering immigration questions for you guys here today. Okay? All right. If you want to schedule a consultation, if you have something you want to talk about confidentially, feel free to call our office, 703-348-1663. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to bring up also, as I mentioned, I'm going to go back to the question that I started talking about. If you're married to a green card holder and you're out of status, do you need to wait till they become a citizen to apply for your green card? So we're handling many cases like that right now, actually. So we have people that are married to green card holders that are out of status, their status expired, or they entered illegally. And they're wondering, do they need to wait till that person, their spouse, becomes a citizen in order to be able to qualify for a green card? So the first thing we do is we screen them for a VAWA self-petition. So this is for people that are married to U.S. citizens or green card holders. So again, in this situation, we're just talking about people that are married to green card holders. If they entered illegally, or if they came in with a visa and are not in status, they can still potentially apply for a green card based on their spouse's green card status. So they might not need to be in status. What would happen if they qualified is they would get work authorization, a social security number, and travel authorization in about 6 to 8 months, and a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years. Right? Not every single person is going to qualify. It's going to be based on the nature of their relationship with their spouse. But if you do qualify, huge benefits. And of course, citizenship in 5 years. All right. Call us for a consultation, 703-348-1663. If you know somebody in the situation, please feel free to share this video with them. If you know people with immigration questions, click the button, hit share, let people know, and then also like us on Facebook, like us on TikTok. Our handle is at Agarwal Immigration, which is AGARWAL, the word immigration, and you will be notified every time I go live. So that means that you can ask immigration questions anytime that I go live. Okay. Jocelyn says, I applied for citizenship already. I'm done with fingerprints, but no one sent me the interview date. So it does take a little bit of time. So when you apply for citizenship, when you're being applied when you're applying for citizenship, you have several steps, right? So initially, when you first apply, you just get a notice that they received your application. Then you go in for fingerprints, and then it's going to be about a year before you get an interview date. At least that's what we're seeing in our cases around here. Some of them are a little bit faster, but approximately a year before you get an interview date. Should get ready for that interview because you'll have to study some history. You'll have to be able to pass the English exam. We get you ready for that. So if you would like to work with a lawyer, we get you ready for that. We do practices, and we also go with you to your citizenship interview. Keep in mind, some people might qualify for a waiver of this exam. So you might not have to answer all those questions. If you have a disability, it could be physical or mental. If we can show that you're not able to learn and retain new information, you can get that citizenship exam completed without having to do that whole the history and civics portion of it. Okay. And you can potentially even use an interpreter. If you might be able to use an interpreter. We just did this recently for someone, for a woman who is probably in her 70s. She's from India, and she became an American citizen. It was really exciting for us, and we loved it. We loved every minute of it. Okay. Give us a call for a consultation if you would like. And of course, share this information if you think that other people might benefit from having a resource for immigration questions, right? Again, I'm an immigration attorney. Pratibha Agarwal is my name, and you can call our office at 703-348-1663. All right, great. Vijay says, I'm married with 3 kids. Great. If you're interested in figuring out how to maybe get to the U.S., or if you have questions about U.S. immigration, feel free to reach out to us. Okay, we're at 703-348-1663. All right, awesome. Another question we get is, if I get divorced from a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, can I then apply for my own green card? So I'm divorced from a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, right? Can I still qualify to apply for a green card? So many times, yes. So even if you divorced recently from a U.S. citizen or green card holder, as long as that divorce is within 2 years of our application, you might be able to, we can do it. We can do it if you qualify. Clearly, it has to be a relationship that qualifies. There might have been abuse in that relationship. And I'm talking about things like verbal abuse. Your spouse is yelling at you, putting you down, blaming you for things, is controlling about finances, is always hurting your feelings. This is all subjective, right? So you may have been hurt in the past. You might have grown up in an abusive household. And so small things might hurt you more than it might hurt someone else, but it still counts, and it might still help you to apply for your green card, even if you're divorced from a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. So if you think someone might benefit from this, the benefits really are many. You would get work authorization in about 6 months, and a a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years. So again, your spouse will not know. Your spouse won't even know if you're divorced from them, right? Because all of the communication is only goes through you. If you work with our firm, we're listed as your agent, and it will come to us, and we will send you copies. And of course, your spouse is not even involved in this kind of application. Okay. All right. Montu's asking, UVisa at 192 form, what is for at 192 form meaning benefit? I'm not sure what your question is. UVisas are for victims of crime, right? Or people that have experienced a crime. So we are representing a couple of different people. One of them is a victim of domestic violence who's reporting her husband and qualifies for a UVisa. The other was a victim, was working in a convenience store and was a victim of robbery, right? Hi, Nela, nice to see you. Feel free to type your question in if you would like. So the other was a victim of robbery, right? So these are different types of crimes might qualify for this, what's called a UVisa. So UVisa, if you qualify, you cooperate with the police, you will qualify for permission to be in the US, you will get work permit based on that. Again, like I mentioned previously, you have to have a different pending application to qualify for work permit, okay? So you might qualify for a work permit based on a UVisa. And then eventually, after 3 years of being on a UVisa, you can apply for a green card and ultimately U.S. citizenship. Okay. There's two parts of the UVisa. There's a couple of them. One of them is a certification. So the beginning of it is a certification. I think maybe, Montu, that's what you might be referring to. Okay. So what is Form I-192? So one of them is for, you might be thinking of 914, I think. Montu, I'm getting a little confused here with your question, but either way, for UVisa certification, you need a certification, which is the police have to, or whoever your reporting agency is, has to certify that you were a victim of a crime and that you're cooperating with them to investigate that crime. That's the first part. Once we get that, then we can apply for the UVisa. All right. Yeah, so yes, there's a new policy. That's correct. Maybe that's what you're asking about. There's a new policy with regard to UVisas, which is really exciting, which is so exciting because that means that once you apply for a UVisa, you can also get work authorization. Before, you had to wait a really long time to get work authorization. Okay, now you can apply for work authorization at the same exact time as the UVisa. All right. Well, guys, I think I need to wrap up for today. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always fun to see you guys. Say hello. Make sure you like our page on Facebook. You follow us on TikTok. Our handle again is @Agarwal Immigration. And yes, Usman says, are you an immigration attorney in the U.S.? Yes, I'm an immigration attorney in the U.S. I'm located near Washington, D.C. But we can do Zoom consultations. We can do phone consultations if you're not in this area. So feel free still to reach out to us. Usman is trying to type in one last question. Usman, I don't know how long you're going to take to type, but listen, I'm going to be on here again tomorrow. Make sure you like us, follow us, share our video. If you think other people might benefit from this, or if you think that they want to join us live to ask some questions. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you. I will see you very soon. Bye, Usman. I'll save your question for tomorrow. Okay.